Hello, America. I'm Bob. I'm a builder, and I have some things I'd like to say. I've been in construction building houses as a contractor for over 35 years. I'd like to offer common sense commentaries from a common man's viewpoint on politics, the nation, and the world in general. No double talk, no political correctness. I'm going to call it the way I see it. Some people will agree, and some will disagree. I'm going to do one commentary every week, touching on timely subjects of the day, as well as ongoing national and international situations. Don't ask me to come up with statistics, and don't ask me to look for documentation or confirmation. These are my own opinions and observations. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, and I'm mad enough to admit that, but I do try to continue to learn every day. Commentary number one. America is being conveyed on the media and many political circles as becoming a nation divided, and that is a very dangerous thing. The thing is, I don't see this division in my everyday life. I don't see these differences where I live, work, shop, or go to church. My neighbors, my co-workers, shoppers at the grocery store, at the mall, my fellow worshipers at church, they're all my friends. I know some are Democrats and some are Republicans. The Democrats I know are not extremists. They aren't liberal socialists or communists. They are Americans and they all love their country. The Republicans I know are not extremists. They aren't far-right, conservative elitists. They're Americans and they love their country too. I see no difference between the Democrats and Republicans in their patriotism or pride in their country. I've always been able to talk and reason with people who don't agree with me, and I do believe we listen to each other and we share many common beliefs. We all want our country to prosper, our children and grandchildren to have a bright future, and we want purpose and meaning to our lives. These days it seems, according to many in the media, especially those pundits on certain television stations, it's not Democrats and Republicans anymore. It's the socialists versus the corporate pawns. This is not what America is all about, and it never should be. People on each end of the extremes are in the great minority, yet they seem to get all the coverage and all the hype. People who are in between these two extremes are sometimes called wishy-washy because they're seen as straddling a fence dividing two sides, and that is not a fair assessment. People who work together to forge working relationships with people who have differences have made this country what it is today, and we must not let divisiveness, hate, and mistrust pull us apart. I'm very sure that when the founders of our country convened to start our great nation, that they were not all in complete agreement as to how it was to be done, but they found their way to work together so that they could help to create a chance at success. And we all know how that collaboration worked out. We would not be here as free Americans if they had not worked together and found common ground to reach common goals. Just the other night, my wife and I rented the new Robin Hood movie. This movie reflects what can happen when a nation has internal strife, whether it is real or just conjured up by those who would like to weaken that nation. The King of France tried his best to divide the people of England, knowing they would be ripe for a takeover if they were at odds with themselves. And in this movie, his takeover only failed because the nation came together at the last moment. Let us not wait until the last moment to come together as Americans who care about our country and our fellow countrymen, or it might come too late. We face many dangers from many different fronts, economically, militarily, and morally. We need leaders who do not fall prey to the screams of the extremists from either side, and who know that the great majority of Americans are much more together, united, and in the center. Those that rail at people, calling them names and inciting hate, should be seen for what they are, and we should know that they do not speak for the majority. We need to pay attention very carefully to our leaders and see which ones are working for the majority. They're the ones willing to work with others in power in a moral and ethical way for the people. These will be the leaders who can help to come up with practical solutions to our many and mounting problems. Our current leaders could do well to heed the wisdom of two of our former presidents. John F. Kennedy acknowledging the stupidity of stubbornness and closed-mindedness when tackling problems, said, "Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future. All Americans need to be united to protect our nation. We must have a common purpose and we must have common goals." Abraham Lincoln knew this when he said, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." Abraham Lincoln also cautioned, and I quote, "America will never be destroyed from the outside. If we falter and lose our freedoms, it will be because we destroyed ourselves. America, we must never let this happen." I'm Bob. I'm a builder, and this is a common man's commentary. Thank you.